Hello and welcome to the Top Corner European Roundup Show, your daily source of news from around the world. If you are new to the channel, please do leave a like and a subscription. And the question I've got to ask for you today is, who would you like to see join your club in the January transfer window? Now, it is the 28th of December 2019, and I'm not going to lie, a lot of the clubs in Europe are, of course, on their winter break, so there's not a great deal of news going around. The Premier League did play today, but apart from the major five leagues, that's the only league that is currently going, so it's quite quiet in terms of the football. But in terms of the news, the January transfer window, there is certainly quite a bit of news to get through. So the first piece of news coming today was from Borussia Dortmund. According to German outlet Bild, Borussia Dortmund have internally decided that they will no longer allow any of their players to join Bayern as they see themselves a major opportunity to become a permanent threat in the Bundesliga to face Bayern Munich for the title. Of course, in recent memory, Bayern Munich have signed a fair few players from Borussia Dortmund, including the likes of Robert Lewandowski, Mario Götze, and Mats Hummels. But two of those players in Götze and Hummels moved back to Borussia Dortmund over time. Of course, the Bundesliga race is incredibly tight right now, and Bayern are looking to assert their dominance by winning the Bundesliga title once again, and they are looking to do some business for next season as well, as they look to bring in Alexander Nubel, the Schalke goalkeeper, potentially on a free. So if Bayern Munich can't bring in Borussia Dortmund players, then it's pretty safe to say that they'll just raid a lot of the other clubs around the Bundesliga. They are predominantly known in the last couple of years to pounce on Premier League clubs when their players' contracts are running down. One of those players that has been recently linked was Timo Werner, as they look to bring him in on a free. They did that with, of course, Robert Lewandowski, and it worked out pretty well in that situation. But Dortmund are adamant that that will not happen anymore at their club. Now, it is quite, as I said, it's quite a slow news day, so all of the news today is dedicated to the January transfer window. There's a lot of news for European sides, and one of those players that could be out of the door from the Premier League is none other than this man, Olivier Giroud. Now, according to various sources around Europe, including Sky Sports, they are saying that Chelsea striker Olivier Giroud has been linked to a whole host of clubs around Europe, including Inter Milan, Juventus, and one of those being Rangers. Now, quite of a shock to hear that Giroud's been linked with Rangers. He is a fantastic player on his day. He is a very classic striker in the terms of how he plays. He is a target man more than anything with his enormous height. But Scottish Sun reported yesterday that Gerrard has downplayed the links from Rangers to sign Giroud. He told the Scottish Sun, "I get linked with some good players. I don't know anything, to be honest, but if someone knows something, give them my number. It is the first I've heard of this, although he's a good player." Giroud's contract does expire in the summer. He has only made 7 appearances under Frank Lampard and looks safe to be certain to be leaving the Premier League side in January. So he's going to be a pretty big target. I don't just think for European clubs. I do think a couple of clubs, maybe in Qatar, might go after him, but we will have to see over the January transfer window. Now, the next player that we're talking about is this man, Stanislav Lobotka. Now, you might know him on FIFA, you might know him in real life. He is the Slovakian midfielder that plays for Celta Vigo, and he could actually be on his way out of Celta Vigo this January and on his way to Napoli. Now, Napoli have reportedly offered 15 million euros plus bonuses for the midfielder, but Celta Vigo are looking to make 25 million for the player. Now, Gattuso is the man who's interested in bringing the midfielder to the side, although he's had a little bit of other interest in another midfielder we're going to talk about in a second. But Lobotka was already close to signing for the club back in the summer. but after tense negotiations, the deal did fall apart. The Slovakian is seen as one of Celta Vigo's most consistent players in their side, but it would be seen as a major blow if he did leave the club, as Celta Vigo currently lie 18th in La Liga and are fighting for survival as they dropped into the relegation zone. So worrying times for the club, but very interesting to see whether Napoli do bring him in. However, he's not the only player that's been linked to Napoli as of yesterday. The other midfielder that was linked was this man, Danilo Pereira. Now, the image quality isn't the best, but Danilo Pereira has been linked with a move to Napoli as well in a reported deal of 40 million euros. Now, this came out roughly around the same time as Lobotka. This is from Corriere dello Sport. Now, they're saying that Napoli are certainly interested in bringing the Portuguese player into the side, and that he does have a clause in his contract if he wants to leave, but whether it's more of a case of whether Napoli are going to spend 40 million on one player. So the question is, do they go for a cheaper option in Lobotka, or do they spend the money and go all out on Danilo Pereira of Porto? Of course, he will be a player that Porto will not want to lose, considering they have got quite a hefty amount of the season to go, as well as their challenge in the Europa League. Now, finally, we go on to one last piece of news today that came out. It's regarding the situation of Ivan Rakitic of Barcelona. He's insisted that he's not thinking about leaving Barcelona anytime soon. He told outlet Sportska Novosti, which I believe is a Croatian outlet, if I am far as aware. We'll have a look in the meantime. But he told them, if I can play, I am sure that Barcelona is the best place for me. We will see what happens, but I am preparing to contribute as much as possible this year. Of course, he has been linked quite a lot in recent months to be moving away from the Spanish side, but the Croatian outlet Sportska Novosti have had an interview with Rakitic, and he is not thinking about it. Of course, he's not the only midfielder that's been linked to move away from Barcelona. The other player being Arturo Vidal, who could be on his way out to Inter Milan. So plenty of movals could potentially happen at Barcelona, not just in January, but in the summer as well. And that is it for all of the major news in today's European Roundup show. Now, as I said before, it's not really been a busy day of news, and I can't see it being a busy week of news, as a lot of the, well, 4 of the major leagues are on winter breaks, and some of the leagues aren't actually back for quite a while. So, for example, the Bundesliga is not back until, I think it's the middle of January time. Yep, the 17th of January is the first game back in the Bundesliga. However, the Serie A should be back in about a week or two's time. So hopefully we should get some more news as the leagues come back. But of course, the fact that the January transfer window is so close means there's going to be plenty of news to come on transfers. If you are new, of course, and you would like to follow our channel on the other social media outlets, if you'd like to follow us on Twitter, it is at @_top corner. If you want to follow us on Facebook for the latest news, it's just the top corner. And of course, if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's the _top corner blog. And as always, the schedule is there. If you want to watch the European Roundup Show, it's available every day at 9 a.m. UK time as a premiere, and then it's available as a video. The first podcast back is on the 8th of January. That'll be with me, the 2 Kierans, and Rowan. That's 1:15, while 3:15, and then it's available as a video once again. And then the 31st of January, we should have Transfer Deadline Day live. More news to come the closer we get to the date. And keep your eyes out as well. There's some potential news for you gaming fans that do like Twitch. More news to come on that at a later date, once I've got official confirmation of a few things I'm going to be doing in the background. But that is the European Roundup Show done for today. If you are new, please do leave a like and a subscription, and we will see you for tomorrow's Daily Roundup Show, where hopefully we should have some more news, whether it be about world football or January transfers. Thank you very much for joining me. See you later. Goodbye.